Rose Pods, coming to you live and in the dark in San Antonio. Well, yeah, man, all the Knicks fans, I'm sure, are just climbing up telephone poles after the Knicks stole game one.
I'm back. I'm back, Bill. I'm back. I'm back.
Oh man, my God. Oh man, I was going to ask you about that, man. You climbing back on the bandwagon? It's a
I'm
new
back.
hat.
I'm back. I'm right on. I'm on the bandwagon, baby. I was cheering hard last night. Cheering hard.
That's a new. Oh my God, that's a new hat too. You just went out and bought that hat. Damn, Jamal. You have no shame.
It looks new, but it's just been in the closet for a few years. That's all, Bill. You know what I'm saying?
God. We're shameless. Hey man, I'm back. So man, so we come off a great upset, and I guess I found myself kind of pulling for the Knicks last night, because it's just a better story.
Right.
Particularly because it's a better story, right?
What's a better story as a New Yorker, especially, we're New Yorkers, Bill. Let's be honest about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well,
what's
I'm
a
an
better story than
honorary
that?
New Yorker. Yeah, no, you're right. And then
you're out, but you're honorary New York. But how long you lived in New York, Bill?
Well, since 1982.
I think you're a New Yorker. That's like my dad used to tell me. He was like, I'm a real New Yorker. You were born here. That's nothing. I moved here and lived here.
So Clyde, because he moved there, that makes even more of a New Yorker.
He moved there on his own to accept, right, in the belly of the beast.
Okay.
I had no choice,
I like that. I like that. Brilliant as usual. Yeah, I like that. So you saying just because you were born there, it's almost like you just it was default. You had no choice.
It was luck.
You could have been born like Omaha or San Antonio. I'm sorry.
Right, exactly.
Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's a good story because of New York, the whole 1970 with 73.
73, yeah.
And one of the things in 73. Mm-hmm. Clyde and that kind of stuff. But also, and if I wrote a column about it, they've been pumping up San Antonio. Now, listen, we still have games to go. The Knicks still have to win 3 more games.
It's not over. It's not over.
It ain't over. But two, they've been pumping up Wembanyama, who's a great player.
Right.
But they've been talking about this thing. He's generational and all that. So how do you know somebody's generational before the generation's over? I mean, how do you know that? How do you know somebody?
This is the generation we live in, Bill. People just say stuff.
Yeah, he's generational. That's like they say, well, he's a future Hall of Famer. I mean,
so anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Anything could happen. And then last night, they're gonna start killing Wemby. Because I've already started hearing it. And that's what we do, man. We're masters at that. We like pump you up because we know the harder we pump you up, it's going to be such a joy tearing you down when you come down.
Right, and then we pump you up, right? And then when you don't live up to it, we don't want to say we're wrong. So it's your fault.
Yeah, it's your fault. Why didn't you meet my expectations? I'm already hearing Wemby. Well, I'm like, wait a minute. Just 24 hours ago, you said this guy is the greatest player in NBA history.
And that's one of the reasons just one of the reasons I'm in my head. I'm like, the Knicks probably going to win this because they're anointing Wemby. And give me a break. I mean, you tell him, so if he wins now, he's going to win like 6 straight. That's basically. Right. So I'm like, it's at least going to start a year later. This is all not going to happen right now.
Right.
That's the way I'm thinking.
And I mean, I guess again, that's our generation, man. We want to go and plant an oak tree in the backyard. And then tomorrow we want it to be like,
right,
200 feet tall and in full bloom.
And we do this no matter, and it's not just Wemby. We do this every year, no matter what. Like whoever wins this, they were saying this about OKC last year.
Right.
OKC is going to dominate the next 10 years. Right. Sam Presti and
right. The genius.
The Celtics. Remember the Celtics went, they're going to dominate the rest, next 5 years.
Jalen and Tatum, and now they talk about trading. Like, oh man, my God. Only plea they do is with the Jets. The Jets and the Giants.
Well, they do the Jets the opposite way. They're always going to be terrible, and they're right. So far, they're right.
So far, they've been right probably since 1969. Hey, whenever they got to the Super Bowl, it's been terrible.
Speaking of that, if the Knicks were to win, and Brunson, is Brunson, I've heard people say that Brunson will be the biggest thing in New York since Joe Namath. You buy that?
Well, probably. Probably. I'm just wondering if the president comes to the game, and
Uh,
he was he supposed to come to game 3
right.
if he insists on you know posing with and Dolan and the whole that's the only anyway. Let's not get into that because we still want to get our credentials.
Exactly. Exactly.
you know, but yeah. So take me through your emotions, man, while you were watching the game yesterday. I mean, particularly when they were they were double digits down. They were down with 14 or something.
Yeah, I was cool, calm, and collected at that point because remember I was telling my son Kareem, I was like, listen, they were down 22 with like 3 minutes to go against Cleveland. There's a long way to go here. So it's kind of like this Knicks team has shown you that resilient.
Right,
They're tough. They have great chemistry. Been playing together, since college. Some of them, so they're not going anywhere. You know that they're capable of coming back. They're a tough team. So I had that. I kind of expected them to come back, at least make it close.
right.
I thought it would be a close game, no matter what the score was at any given time. But they probably closed the gap faster than I thought. Going into the fourth quarter, and then once it was tied in the fourth quarter, I was very confident.
Oh well, yeah. And just looking at San Antonio, it seemed they were just confused, man. I mean, it seemed like they were just undone. It's almost I don't know if you've been in those situations where you're playing in a game and it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
You just discombobulated, right?
I've been in unfortunately too many of those.
Right. Like what's going on here? I remember one play. Who drove? It may have been even Robinson. Robinson came in. We'll talk about that, brother. Robinson came in and he was coming down, and Wemby was under the basket, and Jalen was driving, and it's almost like Robinson was like a pulling guard, and he kind of screened, and Wemby was like kind of looking around and all, all this stuff, and then Jalen, and it's almost like in typical playground fashion. See, that made the problem. Wemby hadn't played. He needs to come to the Rucker next summer. He needs to spend he needs to spend the summer in the hood, like playing in at the Bakers tournament and coming up to the Rucker.
That's what Kevin Garnett said.
He needs to do that, man. He needs to come to the Rucker. Man, that might be a good column. Wemby needs to come to the Rucker.
I would read it for sure.
Yeah, then of course won't get the credentials for San Antonio anymore. So he's a brother, but you need to come to the Rucker.
Right. He could use it. And I bet you he would. He would do it too.
Oh, I'm sure he would, man. And they love it. The brother come. Then everybody there be trying to dunk on him.
Maybe he shouldn't go. He might get injured.
Yeah, well, he should go and come, and then just kind of be out there for like one possession. Do just one possession and do something.
Well, Durant played in the Rucker. LeBron's played in the Rucker. Kobe played in the Rucker. They all did it.
Yeah, that might actually be a good column. He needs, particularly if they lose game 2, and they're coming back to New York. It said he needs to play. He needs to come to the Rucker and just get a little bit of black seasoning. I know he's part of the black diaspora, but he needs to.
What do you think about? A lot of people are saying, and I noticed this at the time, how emotional he was and the team was after that Western Conference Finals victory, and I can understand why they were. But do you think that plays any part?
I wondered about that. I heard again Garnett, who was tough, man. Garnett was tough out of me there. That was too much. And I thought, I mean, again, not being but I could have, like you said, I know why he was so emotional. Also beating OKC, and then what's the kid who he just has this vendetta against?
Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, he just has this vendetta. He
took his heart. He took his heart.
He did, but now I'm sure But it could have been his championship. You expend so much emotional energy that, and I think sometimes it surprises you. It surprises you. You expend so much emotional energy, and you think you're ready.
Right.
You think you're ready, and then you come, and all of a sudden, it's like you hit the button and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You keep hitting it again, and it doesn't work. You're like, oh man, what happened? And you thought you had it, But as Billie Holiday says, she said, love is like a faucet. Sometimes you turn it on and it's gone off and gone, something like that. The love is like a faucet, and I guess the same thing with that emotion. You think it's on and it's off.
Right. Right.
And
And
I think you're
there's
right.
always steps to this, right? That's the thing. Another thing, like you just look back at history, right? The history of the sports, the NBA, like you have to take steps,
Right.
right? And a lot of and this is how it's gone. Like, oh wow, a team gets over the hump, especially a young team gets over the hump, get to the second round, and you get to the Western Conference final, you lose there. Then you win the Western Conference final, you lose the finals. We've seen that many times. And then after that, you have that experience, and then you take it to the next level.
Yep, and I know people say, "Well, he's so great, he's going to skip steps."
Right.
He's going to, and again, man, I know that this is only game one, and again, they have to win. The Knicks have to win 3 more games, but yesterday's game was just so stunning.
Right.
It was so stunning because, in all the hype leading up to it, you think the Knicks ain't got a chance, man. They got a combination of Wilt Chamberlain, George Mikan, Kareem, Elijah Wan, all in this one guy, and there's no way. And but I know the point I was going to make when I talk about the playground and why Wemby needs to come to the Rucker. Like particularly Jalen, they were taking it to him, man. They were like, even if you blocked the shot, they were like going at him, and almost like that. I could dunk on you, and even Carl Anthony Towns, man, who really, I think that I realize his brother's been in the league almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And I think he's a guy. Some people would say, "Oh, well, he's underachieved all these years."
A little bit, maybe. I mean, he's been to the conference finals before. He's been All-Stars,
Yeah, but
he just might not be a number one guy. That's all.
Right, and I guess that says who. But I mean, the way he's
Right.
playing, I think when you're playing against a guy like Wemby, who everybody is hyped up, and you're a center, and this guy's a center, it's got at some point say, listen, no,
that's true.
I'm just not going to let you have that.
Right.
So I mean, Cat had a great game.
Yeah.
Really in that middle point.
He's been great all playoffs. He was great last year's playoffs.
Yeah. No, he's been excellent. So, but again, they have don't want you guys to get too high. You still have 3 more games, but I think that's a really good that's a good column. Wemby needs to go to the Rucker.
I like that. That.
Matter of fact, maybe I saw Kenny Smith yesterday.
Yes, talk to him. Yes,
maybe I'll talk to Kenny
That's
Smith.
a great idea. That's a great idea.
About how he needs to go to the Rucker.
I like that.
That's good. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. The game is Friday. That'll be fun. That'll be fun to write.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kenny, he doesn't care. He'll like
no. And I bet you there's some other New Yorkers you'll run into out there too. They got to be out there.
Yeah. So how he needs to come uptown and play, get a little, uptown.
But before game 3, you might have to do that.
Yeah. If they come there, if they don't let them come there 0-2.
And I'm not. I mean, the Spurs were a very, very good team, right? Mm. So yes, the series is far from over. The Spurs probably, they're favored to win game 2. They could easily steal one in New York. This series is far from over. But and we talked about this before this series, right? That when the Western Conference Finals was OKC versus San Antonio, we knew that people were going to be like, "Oh, the winner of this is going to win it because the West is stronger." So and the Knicks steamrolled through the East, and it was against.
That wasn't nothing. That wasn't nothing.
Lesser competition, granted, but it's
NBA competition.
They swept. Competition. It's not like San Antonio could have done any better against those teams. They swept.
More than 30 points in the deciding games. They beat about like 30-something points on that court.
Right. They're playing like a well-oiled machine. They're resilient. These guys are older. So when you look at this matchup,
right.
San Antonio's still young. They are. They're still young. Their best players are young guys. Right.
That's a great.
The Knicks aren't young like that. They're veterans.
All those. That's a great point, Jamal. I was thinking about that yesterday. You remember you would go out to the playground when you were younger, and you play these old guys, man, and then you didn't know what was going on, man. They'd be like back cooking and just you just didn't know. They were like these older guys, and you thought that you were just going to like youth them. You said we're just going to youth them, and these guys came out there and just before you knew it, man, they like knocked you out,
killing you. You don't know what hit you. And it's the same thing. So, Stephon Castle, I love him from UConn. I love Stephon Castle, great young player, great defender, especially for a rookie. I mean, for a young player, but he's still a young player. So you put him on, Jalen Brunson.
Oh
I
man,
don't care how athletically gifted you are as a defender. He has tricks for days.
Right.
He knows how to manipulate you all day long. And then you have a rookie, another one, Dylan Harper. I love Dylan Harper. He's going to be a great player, but he's a rookie right now. If you put him on Brunson, Brunson is going to have his way.
Right. He said, well, yeah, but I said, oh, well, it was the big guards and all that stuff. And he was just using them, man.
And he didn't even play well. That's the scary thing about this game one victory if I'm the Spurs, that's the scary thing about the Knicks winning game one. And you can say same thing with Cleveland. Remember, Cleveland was up 22, had a chance to win.
Right.
The Knicks were coming off that 9-day layoff. Again, this time they're coming off that 8-9-day layoff.
Right.
This was their rusty game.
Right.
This was Jalen Brunson didn't shoot well at all. I was scared he was injured for the series, to be honest with you.
Oh my God. When they took him out, I thought, that's rough.
I was about to just step away from the TV, like it's over,
No, I know. When I saw him limping out, I was like, oh my God. And then a couple of times they were like kind of hammering him. And they didn't call it,
Right,
I guess he said at some point, I think he must have said, fuck it. If this, like BB King said, if this is the way life has got to be, I'm gonna do the same thing they've been doing to me, So it seems like something. Maybe that's the fourth quarter. That's same thing against Cleveland.
Right.
They done 10, and they say, oh, y'all gonna let us hang around? Cool, we'll take it.
And that's the scary thing about. So I think like you got game two. Everybody's like, oh, San Antonio's gonna come out. Okay, they were they emotionally. Spent after the game sevens, 7-game series or game two, they're going to come back. They know it's a must win. The Knicks are going to come out just as strong. Did you see how hard the Knicks were playing when they were up 10 with 20 seconds to go?
That's
like
right.
They do not let up. They were playing like they weren't giving up layups. So they were playing tough defense with the game was over, and they were still playing the exact same way. That's why this Knicks team is scary. People do not understand how good they are.
Hart and Anunoby. I mean, Anunoby, he'll go, but he killed him, man. There were about 2-3 threes he shot, just killed him. And the guy's strong. It's like I was thinking about. It's like you go to the playground and you bring your young crew, and they got these old cats out there, man, who just beat you up, So and I think you're right. It's like everybody's saying that San Antonio, you're right. Oh, okay, all right, we got it. But the Knicks ain't saying, okay. It's almost like when somebody you do something and oh shit, I can beat this cat, and then you just go and just beat the hell out of him,
Right. No, that's true.
I'm sure at some point when in my generation when Ali fought Sonny Liston, and the same thing, man. Everybody thought, oh man, golly, man, Liston's gonna kill this brother, man. Or even updated when Ali, an older Ali, was fighting George Foreman.
Right.
And everybody's, oh my God, please pray for Ali. And at some point he saw that, man, I'm gonna kill this cat.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
I remember in the when they met at the center for the in a ring of instruction, Ali Simpson said, you've been watching me since you were like 10 years old. Said, I'm gonna kick your ass. And something like that, you never know what's going to affect you. And a guy like Ali, who in fact you had been looking up to, and he tells you something like that. He doesn't say. He says something that goes that you've been looking at me since you were 10 years old. I'm gonna kick your ass, and you'd be like, damn, I have been looking at him.
This motherfucker's right.
He's right. And all of a sudden, So, but again, it's this game one. Yeah. But it was a great game one, and I guess that's the thing about the finals. Every game has its own chapter, but I do think the brother needs to come to the Rucker, and deal with that. Like Clyde said, that's another. I asked Clyde about that. Clyde was good on that. He said when he first came to New York, Willis Reed, because Clyde was just like top draft choice, cool, suave, and all that. And Reed said, no, man, bring your ass up to the Rucker. And Clyde said, but he ain't never seen anything like it, man. He said, all these cats flying all over the place. Cats, I didn't even know who they were, And cats trying to because everybody said they're gunslingers. They said, "Oh,
Right.
okay, we gonna take you, brother."
Right. No fear.
No fear. So Wimby comes up there, and again, it'd be mostly ceremonial, but just for him to come up there and see black. I know you got black people in Paris and all that. It ain't like this,
Right.
Right. So he may be transformed forever. Just get a little taste of that. Yeah, Mark Jackson might be good because Mark
Jackson,
all them guys, man. Tiny Archibald,
Strickland, Rod Strickland,
all them cats, man. And that's kind of the New York thing, is like this team, particularly this team in Knicks, because I mean they do have a star in Brunson, but even he's not. I don't know if you call him a prima donna.
No,
because they ain't talking about him. They still and the best thing to have here was Becky Hammond, which she said that's the best thing that's happened, is that when she said short guard, and that's the New York thing. Like you just say, you know what, that's why I came to New York. Like you said, like your dad with Clyde. He said, I came here for this, just for this. This is what to kick your ass. This is exactly why I came to New York.
Right.
I wasn't like you said. You were born here. I came here. Just to kick your ass.
Right. No, exactly. And that fits Brunson, right? He came here as a free agent. Right. He left Dallas. Woj, he retweeted the original tweet he had a few years ago when Brunson first came to the Knicks, and was like, "Oh, Brunson has a 4-year, $106 million deal with Dallas on the table, but he's meeting with the Knicks." He retweeted that post, and it brings it back. Like, yeah, this dude, he was like, "I'm going over here, man. I'm going into New York City. Right. Forget that, and I'm going to show you I'm better than you guys think I am."
That's right, and he did. And I forgot about that because he actually good Dallas.
Yeah.
He was good in Dallas, but again, he took the New York challenge, and the fact that the three of those guys have been playing together. I don't think you can really sleep on that.
No,
that they've been playing together for almost what?
I don't know. Yeah,
10 years?
They obviously separated when they first got into the NBA, but they were the Knicks brought them all back together. Remember, they used to have Dante DiVincenzo, who also played with them, but not only played together, but won championships
together,
plural.
Right, that's right.
Come on.
Yeah, so it's good. So again, this is all great about them because it's one game, and we could dump a lot of stuff into one game. Now, if game 2 the Knicks lose by 40,
right? That's a statement. That'd be a statement.
Our podcast would be completely different. Well, I don't know.
Exactly.
It'd be kind of tough, even though they want to split. But now, but do not let them go up 2-0, man. And then the Garden, I don't know, man. The Garden. I got some students, this class of fellows. They're going to do like a little project. They're going to come into the city Monday rather, before game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're going to talk to some people in Harlem. I'm going to pick them up at the station. They're going to talk to some people in Harlem. Then they're going to go to the Rucker. They're going to talk to people at the Rucker, and who knows, but the Rucker, I wonder if the corporate America will take over that. If they say, "Oh yeah, the Rucker, let's."
I mean, they do have big sponsors now. Nike. I'm pretty sure they have like a Nike court.
Yeah, the court's still there, but you may have to go there, and then there'll be a bunch of white people there. So, can you show your ID, please? You can't really
not yet, but soon. I mean, every other neighborhood in New York is looking like that. So.
You go to what used to be your neighborhood local bar, and it's like you go in there white people. What are you doing here?
Exactly. No, we don't cut your kind of hair.
Yeah. Oh my God. The only place I was there's a restaurant that I go to all the time up in Harlem. I'm not going to mention it because then they say, "Oh, how do we skip that one?"
Right.
But it's the only restaurant, it's a black-owned restaurant that you will never see white people there. I mean, you may once in a while you may see like one there, but it's not like a lot of the places. They're kind of black-owned, and white people are kind of like taking it over. Like
right.
This one you go there, man, and it invariably is like there may be one white, one or two white, they'll be around, you know.
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, what? I thought this was totally gentrified. No, you're a little too early.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, anyway, so yeah, man. So what's your prediction for game 2?
I think it's good. I think the Knicks are gonna come to play. So I'll give San Antonio the benefit of the doubt. I think I know they're a good team. They are young, but I think they should be able to get one game out of in San Antonio. But I think they're gonna have to scratch and claw for it. And I think they win a close one. And if I were betting, I don't know what the spread is. I would bet the original spread, the original betting line for game 1. I think was San Antonio was favored by 4.5. Game 2, I would assume is probably going to be about the same. Maybe they up it up. Maybe they boost it up, thinking that San Antonio really needs this one. So maybe it's like 5.5. I would still go with the Knicks to make it really close, but San Antonio to win.
What's your prediction on the series? Or you want to go game to game?
Well, no. I mean, my original thought and prediction before the series started was Knicks in 6. And 6. I say 6 because game 6 would be at the Garden. It'd be if it goes 7. That's kind of tough to win on the road. But so I have the Knicks in 6 or 7. That's my
game. Could you imagine that game 6 at the Garden
to win it all?
To win it all. Oh my brother, man! It's just
I mean, these guys like Wemby's a great player, but he's a baby. He's a puppy. There's no way around it. You really think that those young guys would be ready for that atmosphere? A game 6 to win it in New York. You think San Antonio could come out of there with a win?
Yeah, well, you never know. That could go both ways. I mean, because if it gets to 6, that means they've already won. They've won 1 or 2 or something like that.
Oh, you mean San Antonio? Yeah, they would.
San Antonio. If it gets there, they will figure.
They would have won 2. Yep.
They would have won 2 games, and that's why tomorrow. I mean, every game is important, but if they go down 2-0, man, come back to New York, because I think they may have played there. They ain't played there like with this, man. Just like you think you know what it's all about, and you get there. I remember, and this is not the same kind of thing, but when I was at Morgan, and we had to play, we played Grambling at Yankee Stadium, and it was like the first classic, it was the first class, 2 black colleges, and they promoted it. And so when we pulled up for practice, again, man, we Morgan hadn't lost a game in 3 years, but we played it at our stadium and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It was over Yankee Stadium, and then, you're right. And man, I remember when we went out for the like to warm up, and people just kind of drifting in, and then we said, okay, it's fine. Then we went back in, changed, and man, we came back out, man. It was like 64,000 people, and I remember a couple of people in front of me stopped, like you running, they kind of stopped because the bands were blaring and all that stuff, and you'd be like, what? They never seen that. Now, and a whole lot of brothers that had not. Now, of course, with desegregation and all that, all these brothers, play like Texas and Arkansas and Alabama, and they're kind of used to that. But I guess the point is that you're in that environment, and you never seen that many people before, and particularly it was like 64,000, mostly black people,
right?
And how loud we'd be loud, and
that's a sight to behold.
I was, oh my God, man! I remember one guy from Fuqua, and then they had to do the introduction. So he said, "Please, God, just don't let me fall."
Right.
So yeah,
no, you're right. So yeah, I get your point. It's like something you haven't seen before. You see for the first time. It's gonna have some kind of effect on you.
Right. They tell you about even Kareem. I mean, now Kareem did win a championship. Kareem won a championship, I think his second year, but it was when Oscar came.
Right.
When Oscar Robertson came.
A grizzled vet.
Right. Who had not won.
A great player. All-time great. Yeah.
And he's like, by the time he came, Oscar may have been 29 or 30, something like that. And he even had to settle Kareem, and not settle down, but say, yeah, you're a young buck, but I could help. You could help me, and I could help you.
Right. Right.
So so we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we talking all this trash, and again, like if they lose by 40 points.
Yeah, no. If they lose by 40, then San Antonio will have showed me something I didn't know they had.
Right. Well, I mean, Wemby, is I'm sure he's gonna come out. But again, that pressure kind of works on you two different ways. Anyway, we'll do another podcast, maybe from the
Probably
garden.
after game 2, before game 3. I'm sure we'll do one.
Yeah, we'll do another one. What else do we have to
Two
hit in
black
the
coaches.
world? In the
You got
world?
the 2 black coaches in the NBA finals. That's a good thing. So
That's something,
a
and
black coach
hopefully,
will win the championship.
well, that was, of course, just be tempered. Last 2 years ago, when Missoula was there, my friend Vince Goodwell asked him, there have been a lot of black coaches. But what do you think about 2 black coaches? Because he was going against Jason Kidd, and Missoula said something like, "Well, were they Christians?"
Right.
And so Vince wrote a column just killing him, roasting him. Then he said that Missoula, talked to him when the piece came out, and he was trying to explain, well, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to the question. I'm just trying to raise my kids to be colorblind. And he said, what? I said, this is the United States of America, brother. You may not see yourself as black. I may not want to. Everybody else does. They see you as black.
That's right.
They don't look at, I'm a God-fearing, colorblind kind of Negro.
No.
The police stop you, and you said, that's that light-skinned Negro.
Yeah, you think you're better than us.
Yeah.
You think you're better than the rest of them.
No. It's mulatto,
Right.
mulatto black.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I don't know Mitch Johnson. I don't know his
his dad,
his leanings, but he sounds like a brother. I'll tell you that.
Well, he is a brother. And I think a lot of these guys, and even Mike Brown, but I think that what you realize, the control that they got over these cats, man, is just so thorough.
Yeah.
I mean, the control that they have, they still operate in this white structure.
Right.
Even if the team is mostly black, it's in the context of this airtight white structure.
Right.
That basically controls what they can say, what they can do. I was talking to Mike yesterday, and he was on the schedule. And I said, and he said, hey man, how you doing? And she's the little white. Oh, I'm sorry, I've got to get him over the so. And Michael said, man, I'm sorry, they got me going over there. They got me running. They got me hiding. They got me running, hiding. It's like, and I think we get it, man. Like,
right.
Yeah, the league is 60%, whatever it is, black players, but you operate in this whole structure. It's a white controlled structure.
Right.
And they said, listen, we paying you, we're making you millionaire. If you want to, we're making you wealthy. So just be wealthy and just shut the fuck up.
Right. No question.
I think most people faced with that. You got kids now, they say, hey man, Roden, you got my number. Call me later.
let's talk off the record, Bill.
Yeah, we'll talk.
But no, of course. But and speaking of that, before we get out of here, speaking of that topic, there was in the NFL, we'll like you said, we'll be back on this NBA, we'll be back on the NBA finals when we speak next time.
Mm-hmm.
But while you were gone, but while we haven't talked in a while, there was a big event that happened in the NFL, and it was Jaxson Dart, the starting quarterback, the All-American starting quarterback of the New York Giants, second-year quarterback, decided to introduce Donald Trump at his rally in New York, and to my delight, people spoke out. At least one of his teammates, Abdul Carter, spoke out, got on Twitter, said, "What's going on here? What are we doing?" He's like, "Is this AI? I thought this was AI. He really doing this?"
Right.
And it was great to me. I mean, I don't have a problem with Jaxson Dart doing whatever he wants to do, but I like that people speak up.
I like his response too. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I'm on Team Carter. I'm
about to buy a jersey. I'm about to buy a jersry. I don't like the Giants. I'm
on Team Abdul Carter now.
Yeah.
And the brother, even at the press conference, he didn't really back down
at all.
He just said, He said, I mean, he's my teammate. He's a leader. He's a face of the guy. But he said something like, but he got to understand the consequence. You got a locker room that's like 70% black. And by the way, defenses in the NFL are about 70% black too.
Right.
Right. So not everybody was down with that.
Right.
So just beware. But and again, and it's cool. I mean, I think a guy like Dart does have the right to say, hey, this is what I'm down with.
Right.
And Carter said, yeah, but I ain't down with that.
Right.
And so we're going to be teammates. I guess at some level, that's one of the great things about sport in theory, in that locker room. Dart wasn't the only one. Trust me, he ain't the only one in that locker room.
Right.
But they got a
And Abdul Carter ain't the only one either.
no, he ain't the only one either.
Right.
So I think that's but yeah, I guess because I was beginning to think that, man, brother, are these cats paying attention to this stuff? And the fact that Abdul raised his hand and said, "No, I'm paying attention," and I was like, "Well, that's cool." I'm like I said, I'm on team Abdul Carter.
Right.
I like this. I may go out and buy his jersey too.
Yeah.
But good for him. Great for him, man. The
Great
cat
for him.
He's and I think to the extent, and I hope he has a great year.
Right.
Because
he needs
clearly,
to.
better have a great year.
Now he needs a great year.
But maybe that's just fine. But you think I was hearing your boy Boomer Esiason, who of course,
right.
Of course was
right.
like coming back
that.
on.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, man, but listen, you go to your church, I'll go to mine.
That's right.
But he was bringing up all the, he was late for meetings and all that,
What's that have to do with this right here?
Yeah. So, but again, these are eye-opening things, particularly for young brothers, man, who think that the shit is over. So, man, this shit is never gonna be over.
Right.
It's different forms. It just comes at you in different forms. Like with Abdul Carter, like their blocking schemes. There were blocking schemes against star players in 1950, in 1960. You got 11 people on offense, 11 people. That has not changed. What's changed is the configuration of the strategy. So it's the same stuff. So I'm sure his eyes have sort of been. He ain't gonna be late to no more meeting. I'll tell you that.
And if he is, people will speak out. That's
And Dart will. I'm sure between the two of them,
right.
They'll be keeping each other honest. Dart will say, "Hey, brother, you got to do it." And
be careful now. Be careful. I
I
know you do all those touchdown dances, and I know you listen to hip hop, but be careful.
Got the chains and all that stuff.
Be careful. Be careful.
Yeah, league is defense is like 70% black.
Yeah.
Defensive linemen.
Right. Use your head, man. Use your head. Think about what's going on out here.
That's right. Throw the ball away. Because they hit him, he was out of bounds.
They'll take the penalty. They'll take the penalty. 15 yards. I'll take the 15 yards. I'll take it.
That's right. And that's right. He was out of bounds. That's the whole point. All right, brother. All right, man. So Myles Garrett, another NFL news. Myles Garrett traded to LA.
Yep, Myles Garrett and AJ Brown finally traded from Philly to the Patriots. So those are the big things in the NFL. Yeah. We'll have time to talk about that also.
Yeah,
we have a lot of time to talk about that.
A lot of time. So listen, man, this is great. Looking forward to game 2. We'll probably catch up after game 2.
Yep.
I don't want you to see you wearing like a San Antonio Spurs hat next time.
You never know.
A Wemby T-shirt. You
never know. The way I do. You never know. I might have a San Antonio hat on next week, but
it's all good.
Thanks to listeners, of course, for always listening. You can find our podcast wherever you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Follow us on Instagram @BrosPod, Twitter @BrosPod, Facebook Bill Roden on Sports. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll, like Bill said, we'll talk to you soon after game 2. See what's going on in the NBA Finals.
All right, brother. Keep those prayers coming.
Yes.
See you next week.